All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
You feeling it?
Feeling it. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 50 of the Harsch Review. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Sean, and with me is my brother Ryan.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Big 50.
Yeah, we're getting old.
We've made it this far. It's quite the accomplishment, huh?
Yeah. You know, I have to be honest, I didn't really have anything planned for 50. I know it's a big milestone, but I figured we kind of just have a little bit of a conversation and talk about what it's like doing 49 episodes and I don't know, maybe get to know you a little better.
Yeah, but it only seemed like yesterday. I got a text from you. I think it was around kind of close to like the holidays, last year. It was like, have you heard of the Harsch Brothers podcast? And I was like, no, I haven't heard of that. Like, please do tell me more. He's like, well, we're going to do it. I was like, okay, yeah.
Well,
sure,
I mean, we tried, we did some tests and stuff like, I don't know, 2015 maybe. We're talking about doing a podcast at the time.
Right.
We even went as far to do some audio tests and stuff like that, but then I ended up, moving up to the Pacific Northwest, and it kind of just didn't happen. So it was a good opportunity to kind of get back into it and try it out.
Of course, it seems like what a lot of people are doing these days, and it's not easy, folks. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So I mean, what are your thoughts so far over the last 49 episodes? I mean, how do you like being a podcaster?
I kind of look forward to it. We record end of the week, so it is interesting. I mean, sometimes it feels like I'm doing a lot of TV watching and movie watching just for the show. Because I like to come in with something to talk about, and
yeah.
I like to watch older stuff too. But for our listeners and people who are engaged with the show, it is nice to have new stuff and to turn people on to things and hopefully enlighten some others about certain aspects of film and TV or whatever. But it's been fun. I just like how the format's kind of evolving. It's interesting to see what works and what doesn't. It's kind of the beauty of this medium where you really get to try things out and you're not really under the eye of anybody. You don't have to hold up to any standards other than your own and those are your listeners and what they like. So I found it to be quite fun. It's just, I've always kind of been into radio, to be honest with you. I did a radio show when I was in college. I think I was 15, 16 and really into like Howard Stern. So I always like attracted to radio, but it was like, it seems like a dying art. It used to be, I'd be listening to like classic rock stations and talk radio and things like that. I haven't listened to like true radio other than Sirius or anything like that in a very long time. It seems like the podcast is the new radio minus, the program directors and people setting up your show and telling you what to do and who to, let's announce the weather, Sean. What's going on?
Yeah, right.
Let's go into our traffic report. None of that. So it's been quite enjoyable. I really like doing it. I hope we can keep going with the same momentum. It's nice to stay disciplined and focused on this sort of thing,
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun because I still get to play with all my audio equipment when I'm not doing any kind of music related stuff. I always enjoy editing websites and doing some photo edits and things like that. So and I think we play like a good combination because Ryan, he kind of plays the role. He's the subject expert on a lot of different things and is a little bit more traditional, I think, or I don't know if traditional is the right word, maybe a little bit more like a scholar, I guess, when it comes to various subjects and things we talk about.
As far as you know, yes.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's all an act.
I rub my chin.
Yeah, and so I do a little bit more of the lifting on the production side. But, the standard workflow for any of those who are interested is Ryan and I, we kind of share notes and talk throughout the week about, hey, what are we going to record about? We set a time. I'm always late. And then we sit down.
Why, Sean? What's going on?
Oh, I've got animals to take care of, Yeah, so we sit down, we record it. Ryan sends me over his files in Ableton, which he's using now.
Yeah.
Makes production a lot faster, because before it was just, you would probably record, what were you using, Audacity? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Audacity, and then we were actually using GarageBand for a while, right?
Yeah, so he'd send me his GarageBand file. I got to export it, convert it to WAV into iTunes, and then import it into Ableton. And, once you mix and export the show, you then convert it to MP3. Then you got to upload it to the podcast player, and then schedule when it's going to get released, and then rinse and repeat. Come up with artwork or whatever you're going to do for the show. Link it up on the website. So it's a lot of work, but it's still fun, creative kind of work. Anybody who wants to get into podcasting doesn't have to do all of those things, but
helps to have a good mic. When we started out, I was using something that picked up like everything.
Yes, yeah, we've had some fun mixing there. I'm like,
yeah,
you're sweating balls in the summer.
Nice to drop a little money. I'm running a little quick plug. Shure SM7B, I believe it is. Through a Focusrite Scarlett preamp right into the old Mac, and like Sean said, using the Ableton. It's fairly easy to use. I know nothing about the mixing or anything like that. I'm glad you do. So. Or the mastering or whatever you want to call it, or whatever it's technically called. But, I haven't really messed anything up, so I think I'm doing okay on my end. And
I was a little worried there.
Yeah, the mic it's a very nice mic. I like it a lot. I'm glad it picks up things.
It's a great radio mic. I mean, it's the same kind of mic that I think Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on. Dynamic microphone. It's got nice warmth to it. A little expensive, $400 or so. I've had mine for, 5 or 6 years. It's pretty nice, and I was like, you just get it over with and get it. So,
400 is nothing though. Like we both worked at a certain music store, and I'd remember seeing mics for like $3,000. It just what's going on with those microphones. But I'm glad I'm not dropping that much.
Yeah. So I figured we just kind of have a fun conversation, mix things up a bit, break format a little here. And just, I had some questions I was thinking about, like, we've had an interesting life where we grew up real close, and then you went off to school and I went off into my different things. And then our worlds kind of came and went quite a bit, but I was moving around quite a bit. And so it was kind of cool just doing podcasts, especially with your brothers. You can stay in touch. But there's also a lot that I don't necessarily, know. I mean, and on top of that, all kinds of other things. But
podcasts, bringing families together.
Yes. You're here to hear, folks. Working through our emotional shit here on the Harsch Review.
Of course.
So anything exciting, I guess, this week that happened with you? Anything you want to talk about?
No, I mean, just working. This time of the year, it gets pretty hectic. So I'm pretty much on a fixed routine during the week. Get up pretty early, which I'm not a big fan of. For my line of work, it helps to be a morning person, but I'm definitely not the best morning person. But I do try, and had some time to squeeze in some shows, of course.
So same here.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which recently came out.
Oh, I watched it last Friday.
Yeah, okay. So what'd you think of
that? Well, I wasn't quite sure, because, the format and stuff was pretty unique. If anybody doesn't know, this is the Coen brothers' latest effort that's debuted on Netflix, came out last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like Coen brothers, you got to check it out. I didn't know the format or anything kind of going into it. Went into it blind, and it was just Western themed, which, coming off the heels of Red Dead, you're like, yeah.
But the movie feels like a bunch of Red Dead side missions.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's 6 individual, non-related stories, and they're all pretty unique. It's a weird movie.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did you like it?
I really did like it. I didn't really have highest hopes after Hail Caesar. Piece of garbage. With this one, I would like with Hail Caesar. I never wanted to see it again. With this one, I would actually like to see it again, just to kind of catch things. It's really more of like a really well-made film. It's not their best film, but the cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's Deakins. I think so. It's the guy that usually works with them and who's done a bunch of other stuff, but it looks great. I mean, in terms of a Western, it's not your traditional all outlaw, brought back out of retirement for one last big job kind of movie. It's I mean, that's like it focuses on 6 different aspects of life in the Old West, which I think it captures very well. Like we did talk about in the last episode, down to like, the bad teeth and the crappy clothes and lack of hygiene and just how kind of rough everything was. I think it captures that very well. Some parts, I mean, I wouldn't say they drag; they are kind of tedious, but I think it's more just to kind of show a piece of Americana, which the Coens are really good at doing, because a lot of their movies take place in different time periods and different locations. So they're really good at capturing, like, they've done like a gangster movie, they've done a Hollywood 40s movie, they've done life in this part of the country. So with this movie, I did enjoy it. It had a lot of humor in it, had a lot of people popping up that you've seen in their movies, and a lot of actors they haven't worked with yet. So kind of cool to see all that come together in like a different format, almost like a Wes Anderson movie with the book. Like they open the book and it's like, okay, we're gonna get into this story now, and just kind of showing you different examples of things, but with their own blend of humor and style and kind of dark humor, even really. So I really liked it. I would recommend it. Anyone who loves film, anyone who loves Western genre, it's still very much alive with this one.
What was your favorite one?
I like the first one with the Buster Scruggs character, where he's like this Hank Williams looking singing guy on a horse in a white suit, and then he turns out to be
like Three Amigos, right?
Yeah, you're like, okay, and then he turns out to be like this cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
I'm a big Tom Waits fan, so I liked the Gold Prospector one. That was interesting because it was mainly just him. So that was kind of funny to see him doing that. The very last one I didn't really care too much for. It was very like dialogue driven, to where you didn't really, it wasn't super engaging, but it was just kind of odd to end it with that particular one. But I don't think they were going for any big climax of this film. I think it was just showing 6 different stories. Originally, I thought it was going to be 6 hours when I heard 6 different. I don't know why I thought that, but I was like, and then I was like, oh, 2.5 hours. I can do that in one night, so that should be easy. But, definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Waits is pretty cool. The one with Liam Neeson, Meal Ticket, that was just fucking sad.
The whole thing is all of them had this air of like tragedy and just like sorrow. And
they're all sad,
broken dreams. And I guess that's just really how it was back then. Like, the life expectancy wasn't too long, so it's like
sure.
Everything is just like, oh, God.
All of them. Yeah,
that's a lot of their movies, though. I mean, they're all kind of just like stuff happens like with the best laid intentions, and stuff gets messed up every time. From Fargo to Lebowski to No Country. I mean, all those movies have like, okay, we got this great plan, but everything just goes to shit. It unravels, and so that's kind of like they take that formula and superimpose it on the Old West in smaller doses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you have it.
Yeah. It's our review.
Nice. There it is. Mm-hmm. Right back to the old comfortable.
Yes. Let's get away from that. Yeah. That's the only one we're doing this weekend, kids.
Oh, is it though?
This week. I don't know.
You don't want to talk about Narcos?
I'm not quite done with it yet, but I do really like this show. It's got a different kind of feel to it. But I mean, first of all, I know I was looking for it. I think you were too, and I'm like, where is this? Like I went under Narcos, and it was only 3 seasons. I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen all these, and then it's like, oh, then come to find out, oh, it's Narcos Mexico, Narcos : Mexico. So it's like a different, different title. But so for those of you who are having a hard time finding it on Netflix with the great layout they have to find movies, you might want to type in Narcos Mexico or just look for that one. But I'm halfway through it. I don't want to give like a whole review on it, but I do like what I'm seeing. It's very intense. It moves pretty fast. We're starting to lay the seeds for like the final season, I guess. So, yeah, I like it. It's not disappointing me at all. I was looking forward to this for a while. And
are they done after the next season?
I think they might. I think they're going for that. Because you're gonna expect him to end with like El Chapo.
Yeah, because he's in this one, right?
Yeah, he's starting out, so it's like it's a very minor role, but it's like oh, okay, they call him El Chapo. It's like, oh, okay. So you start to figure out who that is. How many episodes are you in?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, okay. You got through it.
Yeah,
you burnt.
I didn't plan on it, but it was really good.
Oh yeah. No, I took a break for a minute and I was watching Patriot. It's another one of my favorite shows, but I did like I don't want to ruin it for our listeners, but there's a couple of really cool surprises and about halfway through Narcos. So
yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I love that. Yeah, I think that made the whole thing. I was like, I can't watch another one for a minute after this. Like, it was just really cool. Yeah, I'm sure you can figure out what we're talking about, but just go ahead and watch it if you're a big fan. Michael Pena was really good. Like I expected him to be like that kind of wiseacre guy, and he did a good job of playing this obsessed, agent who's like, really determined on finding out things and going outside of his job to catch the bad guys, more or less. So
yeah,
and the other gentleman, help me out on his name.
Diego Luna.
Diego Luna is great.
Yeah,
and the guy doesn't have to say anything. It's just like he just looks so. He's like Pablo, like the guy who played Pablo Escobar. Just got this intense look to him, like all the time. What's going on with this guy? Yeah, it's really cool. Really good show. I love the whole series. Like I haven't been disappointed at all in any of them. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm curious when you're done with it, what you think.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, other than I watched those ones. I've been watching, just kind of restarted The Americans. Watching that. I played a little bit of Red Dead. Still going after all the legendary fish.
Yeah.
Which has been,
it's really hurts your hands.
Something you can, it's something you can do when you're bored, but I'm not playing the game. I'm just going to go fishing for 3 hours.
It's a mission unto itself, though. And it does have danger inherent, because I was catching the sturgeon down in the old, Louisiana looking place, and I got hit by a train. Like I was on the train tracks. And like that. I guess that's like the best place to do it, because I don't want to get eaten by an alligator, because that's happened a couple times already. And I was on the train tracks getting the sturgeon, which takes about 20 minutes to pull the sucker in. And train came along and hit me, killed me. So that. You got
to be like right on the edge of your tippy toes to pull that off.
Yeah, another couple missions, like out in the middle of nowhere, and got accosted by a pack of wolves, which wasn't very fun. Hey guys, I'm just here to fish. I'm not like,
Yeah.
It's a great game where stuff just pops up like that. A lot of side missions, a lot of nice diversions from the storyline. So those of you trying to burn through the storyline, if you're playing that game, stop and enjoy the other things, because there's a ton of stuff in there. I'm just reading stuff online about like all these side missions and little Easter eggs. Really cool.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. And then let's see, what else did I do? I did so I finally spent the money and just fixed my my teeth. They're a little crooked.
Okay.
Got Invisalign this week.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, it's like braces for adults, where no braces. They put on like the little metal things, and then they use rubber bands to create the tension and wires and all that kind of crap. And so it's kind of like a clear mouth guard that you wear that straightens your teeth out. My insurance paid for a big chunk of it because it's not cheap. So eventually the dentists were going like, this will probably help with you possibly getting migraines at night because you might be grinding your teeth or, that kind of stuff. And so I finally said, all right, let's just do it. So you go in, it was about an hour and a half, and they had to, it was pretty cool because I initially paid money like 2 months ago and did like these mouth impressions, where if you're at the dentist, they fill this tray with like this Play-Doh goop, and then you bite into it, and then you got to hold it for 2 minutes, and then you take it out, and it's just like you're gagging the whole time.
What's that taste like? Is it like the fluoride
like
stuff?
Shit.
Yeah.
Like shit.
Yeah.
And
great
so
taste.
anyways, so they took the impressions, and then I was just traveling and doing a lot of work stuff, so I just kind of never did anything about it. And then they're like, hey, you're going to follow through with that? And I was like, yeah, I've been delaying it as long as I can.
These impressions are sitting around on my desk here, Sean.
No, but
gathering dust.
I know. Well, I mean, I paid $300 to have that done for you pay $300 to have them tell you if they can even do it or not.
Oh.
So, because not everybody, depending on how busted your teeth are, Invisalign may not work. But it will work for mine. And they show you they had this kit when they did their whole sales pitch. So I'm all paranoid, like I'm just being had, He had
a little, he brought a little briefcase, and
it's kind of was like they opened
Sean,
up. They sit down with me in this private room, and they
marvelous
open this
new
case.
invention.
Yeah, it's called
the Invisalign
oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
New technology like the hula hoop. Brought to you by Beeman's Blackjack Chewing Gum.
On sale now.
Yes.
But wait, there's more.
Invisalign.
So anyways, they show me the little, they had like a 3D printed version of like your mouth, your teeth, the little plastic things you'd see in they look like little chatter teeth that you wind up and they go on the teacher's desk before they, So they had a version of that of a replication of your mouth, which was perfect. And it was like, this is creepy, looking at this thing that looks like I'm holding it in my hand. It's like, yep, that's my grill.
Do you get to keep it? Can you take it
No,
home with
it was
you and,
just they still have to use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kevin chews it up.
Right. Thanks.
And then they show me this digital path of what it looks like, and so you see this 3D thing on the screen of here's how it is now, and then they fast forward through all the weeks and they show you how your teeth are guided and moved by these trays you have to wear, and then at the end of 40 weeks, 22 hours a day, you got to have these things in your mouth. Your teeth are fine and you're ready to go. So
it's just imagine how messed up stuff was before dentistry.
I know. So I keep thinking about it, and I'm watching these Westerns and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do people do when they've got jock itch or,
right.
You name it, just any common little thing.
Go even further back in medieval times and just what did they,
I know.
What did they use?
Crotch stank on all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to, in order for it to work, they had to, file a lot of my teeth, we're talking millimeters, not a whole lot. They had this little key ring, and on it they had these little, shiny sliver pieces of metal. So it looks like mini dog tags, and they all had different numbers on them, different thicknesses. And so they kind of tell the dentist, okay, these have to fit between their teeth before you start the treatment. And if some teeth are too close together, you have to shave them down. So what they did is they go, okay, so it's just on the enamel. So you don't need they're not going to numb your mouth for the process. But what they do is they took a thin little saw that goes in between your teeth and go and try to drill it out a little bit so there's more of a space between your teeth.
I hate those things.
And then they took this other one, which was a flat, fortune, it looked like one of those fortunes you get out of a fortune cookie, but a little bit thinner, about that big, and it was a file, and they put it between your teeth, and they start just filing it back and forth, and so you hear it in your skull. Just,
do you have?
You know?
Are you like medicated, or is this?
No, it's straight raw dog in your mouth. Yeah, so really uncomfortable.
So is there like blood all over the place, or what's?
No,
going on?
it's just enamel. They're not like getting down to the core of your teeth, and so they had to do that for about half an hour, which was just uncomfortable and unpleasant. And then they have to, depending on how busted your can openers are. Mine are, my teeth are not actually really that bad. They're just really crowded
compared to others.
So some get pushed in front of others, and it kind of messes with your bite. And it's just because I had my wisdoms removed way later than I should have. Yeah. But then they have to attach like these little nubs on your teeth. They look like little grains of rice, and they will stay on my teeth until the whole thing's done. And I had to have 20 of them put on, which is a lot compared to most people have like less than 10. And
so they're like extra teeth.
No, there's sharp little bumps on my teeth that like that's how the trays like push your teeth in certain directions.
Wow.
And so the trays also have little indents for the bumps, so it goes over your teeth, and they're really kind of minimal. They're not huge. It's not like a big NFL mouth guard, but it goes in your teeth and then slightly just starts pushing them in the direction they all have to kind of go gradually. And I change them out every 2 weeks. So just started that on a Wednesday. It's been almost a week. It's painful as shit.
Wow.
Been drinking a little bit of whiskey like I'm a old Western, dental remedy.
Give me some of that brandy over there.
Yeah, and taking ibuprofen, and I'm getting used to it, but it's not fun.
And so how long is this process?
40 weeks. So
that's not.
We're looking almost a year.
Like, you consider braces. People get braces for like, 2 years. This sounds like a lot of pain in the ass in the beginning, but yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. I mean, it's not done to me, so I'd want to talk, but
yeah,
I'm just sitting here like listening to this story. I'm like, geez, dude.
Well, I can't recommend it yet.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I can already feel it after a couple days. Like you can already tell, like, yeah, it's working. It's a strange feeling because like your teeth are really sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Your bite starts to change, so the teeth. You mean after a couple days, like when I bite down on something, they don't land the same way as they do, and some of my teeth are a little more sensitive than others because they have a lot more pressure.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to avoid foods I have to bite into. In other words, if I can't eat it with a fork, I'm kind of avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Wish me luck. I'm not wearing them now because you talk with a little bit of a lisp when you have them in. It's not that bad.
Oh, really?
It's not really that noticeable, but it just depends. Like they can get a little fatiguing.
I think your name's not Chip Douglas.
Chip Douglas. I got a little lisp.
Like erectional facility. Wow, man.
It's not bad.
Well, perhaps if it works out, we can hit them up for some sponsorship.
Oh, yeah.
We got a success
Harsch
story.
Review, home of the crooked teeth brothers.
Yeah. We got a sponsorship in the works if this goes well.
I know.
Wow, man. Okay.
Yeah, so, that's pretty much my week. One last thing is I took the lady to go see The Crimes of Grindelwald, the Harry Potter.
Oh.
She's a big Harry Potter head.
Sure.
And that's the latest one that came out. But not really here to talk about the movie. It was okay. But we went and saw it at this fancy hoity-toity place called iPick up here. It's in like Redmond.
Oh.
$25 a ticket, and I had to buy them like a month in advance. It's a smaller theater, so there's like these pods that you sit in. These two chairs are like in this little pod, and it's got like a swivel table that goes over the middle, a button you push when you want like service. They'll come bring you drinks or food and all that stuff.
Are they all like loud and stuff when they come? It's like shh.
It's a little distracting, but the way it's laid out is you don't really see anybody else. Like you can't see over the edges of your pod.
Huh.
So you're like in a little mini sound booth looking thing, and which actually makes it sound like super loud, which was pretty rad. And the chair reclines like all the way back, so and they give you a blanket and a pillow.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so
you like sneak those home with you or what?
No, but
surrender those before you go.
If you're not into the movie, you just push the button and recline all the way and just go wake me up when it's over.
Snooze fest. See you in 40.
Yeah, so it was a kind of cool cinematic, experience. I might have to go do that a little bit more, but
you got to do that.
Been to any of those super fancy.
You got to do that to get people to go to the movies. Because the turnout's like been down like kind of steadily in the years. So I think it's I think it's cool that they're kind of doing that. They're adding. I've heard about movie theaters where they heighten the experience and like your chair vibrates, or
I did that once.
Like, toss a bunch of water on you or something. It starts to rain.
I saw Pacific Rim in one of those motion chairs, and it was like I couldn't. I don't know. I'm like eating popcorn and it's just moving around, and at one point I'm like, I'm gonna throw up, man. This is not working.
Popcorn plus sudden movement is no good.
It's got this stupid cup holder, and like your big gulp's like just shaking around the whole time, and it's like all loud. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Like some little guy behind you, like shaking your chair. He's like, hey, don't mind me.
What it kind of feels like, man.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah,
spraying mist on you.
So
hey, well, that's that's good. We don't really have anything like that down here. We have like the recliner, which is nice. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but I guess you get what you pay for. But we have like the nice recliner that goes all the way back, and there's another movie theater open closer to me with that kind of stuff, with the ring the bell for the service or the button or whatever. So
sure,
that's cool. To check that out.
Yeah.
I pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
PIC. I don't know if they have them down there, but I know they have them somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Sweet.
All right, let's move on.
What do you got?
I don't know. What do you got, man?
I want to ask you some questions.
You got questions for me?
Some questions for you.
Okay.
It's interrogation time. Sean.
Yes.
Sean Harsch. Famous podcaster.
The Harsch Review.
Sean, what is your favorite word?
What? My favorite word?
Sean, what is your favorite word?
Why do you sound like this? My favorite word.
Sean, what is
everything just got nice and focused and quiet. Okay. I like the word develop.
Develop. Okay. Okay. That's great.
I don't know.
There's not a Y on this question. It's just,
Sean, that's it. It just sounds fun to say.
What is your least favorite word?
I would say chitty.
Is that a word?
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Like that.
I get
chitty.
It. Chitty.
Chitty. Well, get chitty with me, boy.
Okay, chippy. Sean,
if you ask me questions, why you gonna be all creepy? Though?
All right. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I have no idea how to answer that. Turns me on. Opportunity, something new.
What turns you off?
Work.
Yeah.
I don't want to put in the time. I just want it to be.
What is your favorite curse word?
Oh, it's got to be fuck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hard works for everything.
Hard K.
Yeah.
It's a noun. Fook. It's an adjective. It's, yeah.
Don't give it fook.
I like that. What sound or noise do you love?
I like the sound of a mild. Oh, that's a good question. The sound of Kevin farting. It's pretty funny.
It's a great sound. Not so much. Great sound. The smell. Not so much.
Yeah, the burnt cookies, dude. But yeah, bring it, Kev.
Yeah. What sound or noise do you hate, Sean?
I would say bad brakes on a car.
Yes.
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 You're just drilling me on these questions. Where are you getting these from?
This is brought to you by Mr. James Lipton.
Oh, okay.
The
That explains it.
the late James Lipton.
Oh, he passed?
I think, I don't know. Like, he was pretty old. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
If I had to go all back, I would probably try to be a major league pitcher.
Nice. With a wicked
Yeah.
curveball, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get known for the 12-6 curve, drop it in.
Nice. What profession would you not like to do?
I would probably say the guy who cleans out New York's sewer system.
Ooh, yes.
No me gusta.
Sean, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done, sir.
All right. Good job, Sean.
All right, I passed the test.
Well, it wasn't really a test, but, you know.
Yeah.
Mr. James Lipton would be proud.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So are these questions that he actually these are the ones he asks people on his show, right?
Yeah, it's like at the end.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, it's like everybody's on there. Or when it was like a show, it was just like everybody. So it's like, all right, let's find out a little more about these people. So, you know, does the little question and answer thing at the
Pretty
end.
pretentious show, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, totally.
It's like these. I just remember watching some where everybody in the the audience is sitting there watching him, and they're all just like eating it all up.
Tom Cruise, actor.
Yeah,
humble beginnings in a little film called Risky Business.
Yeah, then it shows a little
clip
or something.
A little project called Days of Thunder. Anyone?
So dumb.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I guess he's just like he runs a studio, or maybe, but it's like you never really seen him act in anything, you know. So another one.
How did he get the credentials to even be there?
I know. I think he was actually like a soap opera actor, which, you know, that's where our greatest thespians come from. It's the soap operas. So I think that's his credentials right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Lipton.
Oh, James Lipton.
Congrats, Sean.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, some nice questions for me. So, you know, I was always kind of thinking
he's still alive.
Oh,
sorry. I had to check. Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
He's old as shit. He's born in 1926. Wait, is he
really?
still alive? Yeah. Guy's 92.
Oh, wow.
He looks pretty good for 92.
Yeah, just not good enough to continue on his show, right?
Probably not. Someone's going to have to be asking him those questions pretty soon.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, what was your, I was trying to remember, what was your first job?
Oh, I worked at a library.
That's right. Okay, so it
Yeah.
wasn't McDonald's.
No, I worked 2 jobs before that. I think when I worked at the library, like they had me working there when I was 15. And I think like back then the age you could start working at was 16. So they were really like reticent to hire me. But I was like there all the time. So it was like, hey, let's, he wants to work here, let him work here. I ended up working at the library again in college, but that didn't last too long. So they had to.
Are you the guy that's like just checking stuff in and out or putting books away? Like, what's it like working in a library?
It's pretty like boring, dude. I mean, you're surrounded by all these books that, you know, you obviously love, but my problem in college was I started reading the books, and like they had these nice couches. So like, you know, one time I was on this, it was it's a college library. The one I worked at for the first job is very small. It's like probably the size of what my living room is now. And that's not like big or anything, but the one in college is like 3 stories high. So it's like, you know, you have all these little study rooms and nice couches. So it's like, it's very, it's pretty boring. It's just like you get a cart of books and you wheel it around, and it's still Dewey Decimal. So you put them away. And, so I started pulling books down and reading books. And then my boss caught me like twice and I got fired.
Really?
Yeah. This is.
I didn't know you got fired.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got let go. They're like, yeah, we don't, we're not going to need you next semester, kind of thing. And I didn't even ask. I knew why. It just was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened.
Well done.
Yeah, right. I mean, I haven't really been fired from any jobs, but it's like one of the only jobs where my curiosity got the better of me and cost me my job, Sean.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Talk about it? You okay?
No, I already talked about it. That's pretty much what happened.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I got caught. I think the second time I fell asleep, and I think that was the proverbial nail in the coffin. They're like, Ryan, and I was like, wake up on one of the couches and floor 2, and
you're just a model employee over here.
Oh yeah, man. These are the good old days.
Jeez.
I think it was like 19.
Yeah.
Still new to the working world, but yeah, library.
Trying to figure it out.
You really want to do it, if you want to be like a librarian, it's just something I guess you really want to do, but I don't know. It wasn't for me.
It wasn't for you.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first job where I got paid to do something, because I was always kind of a hustler.
Yeah.
As a kid, where I'm like, bartering and trading with all the kids. I would walk around with a bucket and like soap and sponge and all that kind of crap, and kind of be like, hey, go up there, just knock on random people's doors and be like, can I wash your car?
Young entrepreneur.
Anything to make money. I was doing that. I would be buying beef jerky and trying to flip it at school. Yeah.
Like it's a rare jerky here.
Well,
it was funny anywhere else.
I got a text from my my buddy Doyle the other day where he was like, he's playing Red Dead, and he asked me.
The one who's too busy to listen to our show?
Probably. He's probably working on like episode 15.
I'm too busy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got it, pal.
You can't have it on when you're driving around or anything. No. Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, I wonder if that would if I would have gotten the deal on 867 Play. And I was like, that's right. I did this thing where, so when I used to get Nintendo Power, like in the 80s, which was a pretty kick-ass magazine, they had a help number that you could call if you got stuck on video games.
Yeah.
And it was like 1-800 something something play, 5228 play. But the play was 7529, which happened to be the last 4 digits of our phone number when we lived up in the mountains. It was 867-7529.
Which was also happens to be Jenny's number.
Yeah. What is it? What the hell is that?
8675309.
Yeah, 5309. So same local code or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I would have people, I made these little flyers and I handed them out in elementary and middle school. So whenever people got stuck on video games, I was like, give me a call. It costs $0.25, and then they would call. I
only played 2 games though. So it's like, I hope you picked the right one.
I only bought 1 game for the NES, and that was Top Gun, which I was, didn't have a lot of money. So I
remember
kind of
throwing the control at the wall and frustration.
Trying to refuel was
just that, and like landing the plane like on this the clunky aircraft carrier.
Yes, that game was frustrating as all shit.
But
it was a fun game to play, and but then I ended up having 50 or so Nintendo games, and I got them all just through like swindling local kids and trading and bartering and stuff like that. So I was way into games back then, and So anyways, that was just one of the first things. But then I worked for this place called like Dave's Antiques. I don't know if you remember this. Remember this place? It was up in the mountains. It was I don't know. It was like this old dude's antique store.
Okay.
And he he hired me and one of my other friends I think worked there at the time, and it was kind of like this just do random chores and crap for him around town.
Errand boy.
Yes. I was his errand boy, but then he fired me because I caught him pissing on his antiques.
Whoa! Oh, wait a minute. Was it like he was just like drunk or what? Like,
he had to have been a drunk. I mean, I don't remember, to be honest, but what I do remember was I was looking for him, and so I go out back, and he had all this crap like stacked in the back, and he's just out there, just taking a piss on like some wooden bear, like one of those chainsaw bears, you know what I mean? And I'm like, Dave?
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
hi, Dave.
Juggles the
Dave's
the
not
bits,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that didn't work out. I ended up getting let go.
That must have been quite traumatic. You see some guys weighing like
he's like, I'm not going to be needing you anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well,
you were witness to something I've been doing for many years. It's the secret of my success.
Yeah, we had a good run there, Dave.
That's how we keep the antiques fresh.
Jeez,
oh, God. You think people that collect antiques are probably legitimate hoarders, right? Do you think that's the case, or
that they're hoarders?
Yeah, like legitimate hoarders, though. It's just like because there's this whole like group of people in our country that like this love antiques and they collect them and they to what end? I don't know, like, but to a very large extent.
Yeah, I think old people like antiques because, there's like crap from their childhood and they like to decorate and kind of have that look. But then I think there's, the millennial generation likes antiques for like the hip factor of, getting something that's a little bit, has some history and stuff to it.
Sure.
Found objects and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Knickknacks.
There you go. Knickknacks.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Something has that been repressed for years or?
No, it was just something I remembered I thought about and I was like, oh, that's right. That dude was
that
guy was an asshole.
Yeah. A piss on stuff.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Like use the urinal, buddy.
Seriously.
Like, ironically, there was probably like an antique urinal that he just like didn't even use.
Probably.
Piss on some
he had a cool store, but it was just that guy was not to be trusted, so
what's it like smell like in an antique store besides piss? Like, is it just
like dead skin and
like grandma's parlor?
Jeez, I don't even know what that smells like.
Yeah, like
grandma's
dust,
parlor,
dust and everything.
Yeah, that's probably safe to say.
Yeah, old farts.
Jeez. Old farts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my first like real job was Round Table Pizza. And that's where I had to get one of those, I was 15 years old. I was probably logging 20 hours a week there while in sophomore in school. Had to get one of those permission slips to have a job while going to high school.
Work permit.
Yeah, work permit.
Yeah.
They didn't let me touch the money. I just kind of made food. And it was fun, but then like what was kind of funny is that like on the weekends or off days, you like you're partying with your friends, and then one of the things we do when we're bored is we would go tail these, like we had all the delivery drivers there were like these old Filipino dudes, like we're talking 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And so we would just go follow them around on their route just for, let's just follow them around and freak them out. Like, who's this car following me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was just something stupid that you did, but it was a lot of fun. And it was fun working there, but that was just that was
a lot of those first jobs, though. You do learn a lot of skills, like you just like I worked at McDonald's. It was my first like legitimate job, I think, because I worked at a grocery store for a little while.
Which one?
The Mountain Mercantile in Running Springs.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I worked there for a little while, but that was like, like a one of the markets up there. Everything's like horribly like overpriced, but I did that for a while, but I think McDonald's was like the first legit job I had. You learn a lot, like how to deal with other people. There's like an old guy there who was like just curmudgeonly to everybody. So you learn how to tolerate people, different kinds of people, different attitudes, kind of how to think on your feet, deal with the public who, oftentimes is not nice in that particular industry. Yeah, but it's not something I wanted to do forever, but it's like I got some good skills out of it,
Yeah.
the stuff you're not going to learn in a classroom. So that was what I took from it.
It's kind of crazy to, when you're working these younger jobs and you're just like, you just don't know anything. Like even when you're like in your 20s, you just like, you don't know anything. You think you do, but you really don't.
No.
And it's kind of interesting to kind of see like what skills and stuff you actually in hindsight looking back at that and just, how naive I think you can be.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, too, I've learned to appreciate anyone who does that. I mean, when I go get food and stuff, I'm always very nice to everybody and, thank you. Because I know a lot of times it's pretty shitty. It's just kind of a shitty job. It's a decent first job if you want to make a little money, but it's a pretty shitty job, like any kind of fast food job. So always just try to be nice, have a little empathy for what they're going through and, hopefully make their day a little bit. I mean, it's just kind of interesting how people work in fast food bust their ass and then they don't get tips, but waiters get tips. And it's kind of like, it's all, I don't know. It's a whole other conversation, but.
That's true.
Tip your fast food people.
Are you a big tipper?
Yeah, I like to be. I mean, I'm not really the biggest tipper if it's like it's shitty service, which I've had my share of too, but I'll do 15-20%, most times.
Okay.
It's just kind of like that's kind of what you do. Other countries, I know they don't really do that. It's like it's included in whatever. But yeah, I mean, if it's good service and they did okay and they checked on you a couple times, I'm not expecting them to like keep coming over from every single need. But those jobs are hard. I mean, I did cater. I had a catering job in college, and those jobs are tough. I mean, you got to be like obviously multitask. You got to be kind of everywhere, and they're very long jobs in terms of like setting up and then taking down, which the public doesn't really see. A lot of work and effort goes into that kind of thing. So, I'll be generous when I need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah. What is your take on the whole, like, in Reservoir Dogs, they had that big conversation. Like, I like that conversation that Tim Roth was kind of leading in regards to like tipping,
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. I mean, do you believe that at all or no?
Oh, like you should tip out of like obligation.
It's like, yeah, they should get a job that doesn't need tips, like he doesn't
Harvey
tip.
Keitel's like, hey, these girls bust their ass. Like that's what Harvey Keitel said. Like, yeah, but I mean, it's like that's true. I mean, a lot of those jobs are all entry level minimum wage, and there's not like a lot of raises. So it's like, yeah, the tips do make a big percentage, but I do know too in those restaurant jobs that whatever tips you collect, like part of that goes to the busboys too. So if you leave a $5 tip, for example, it's not going to be everything. The waitress or the waiter is not going to get all of that. But I think, yeah, it supplements the income because those jobs really don't pay anything. So it's like, especially any entry-level waiter or waitress job, I think you should still tip them, but it's hard to find work in other fields. I mean, that's just how it is. Even with education, I mean, it's hard to find work in other fields. It just depends on what you're getting into.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, I like to tip when you get good service.
Yeah.
I especially when it's like somebody like it's like a stylist or somebody that you're going to, or you plan to have some kind of like a reoccurring relationship with, and then you kind of find that you do get some good dividends from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you do it? Like when I go to the, like when I go to get my haircut, which has been kind of rare these days, because usually I go in for like a haircut and like a beard trim. I'm just like, it's just, I don't know if it's the cold weather or not, but I'm like, yeah, I'll grow it out for a little bit. I'll grow the hair for a little bit longer than I usually do. And I'll grow the beard out. I think it's like I'm emulating my character in Red Dead, but like, not
do you get somebody to help you with the bath?
Right. 50 cents, you get a little extra assistance. You get the deluxe, the deluxe.
I'm just waiting for her to be like, "Do you need anything else?" You're like, "Oh,
yeah.
Actually, I do."
Hit X triangle and 0 4 times.
Hit X
you get
higher.
You unlock the hidden thing, but no, it's like I do feel like I pay them a little extra, because that's a lot of work too. But do you do like the handshake thing? You're like, "Hey, thanks a lot." You like give them a little. Put the little $10 in there and give a little handshake, or do you just kind of lay it out on the counter? What do you do?
Wait, what are we talking about?
When you tip somebody, Sean?
The handshake thing.
Yeah, like do you ever like do like a handshake with the money in it, like shake their hand?
No, usually it's because I'm doing it all in the penware unit where you pay.
Yeah,
you pay for when you're paying the money.
Right. Yeah, this place I go to is like cash only, so
Oh.
Get on my cash.
Yeah,
ready.
I don't deal with cash only places, man.
Hey, well, hey, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jeez. Somebody asked me a question the other day. I figured I'd ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a couple of them here. Just like because I was doing some research on like when it's like a news story came up I found that talks about these large corporations that ask you questions during interviews. And, people try to prepare for them. So if you're going to go work for Apple or Amazon, Google or Tesla, they've got like these questions that come in that are supposed to capture elements of your personality or just how you answer them. Not necessarily the answer yourself, but more about how you answer the question.
So they're kind of building like a personality profile.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of interesting. I thought I'd run a couple by you.
Okay. So this is like a mock interview, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here's the first one. Why is a tennis ball fuzzy?
Well, Sean, you see, a tennis ball has to be fuzzy because first of all, you're hitting it with a racket, and so you need that kind of friction to be generated with the point of contact. Also, it just looks good. I think if you have it fuzzy, it's not going to bounce as much as, say, like a racquetball, which is all over the place. Know what I'm saying?
It adds a little bit of resistance to
total bullshit answer, but I think I got it right. Like,
it sounded like you didn't take it too serious.
Well,
All right, here's another one for you.
Right, I'll be more serious on this one.
All right, so pretend like it's a real answer.
All right.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yes, I do.
Well, I appreciate your time.
We'll
be giving you a call,
sir. I'm not. I have more to the answer.
Okay,
people have done
30 seconds.
People have done extensive studies on the existence of Bigfoot in certain parts of the world. There have been some evidence accumulated thus far, but the jury's not out. Still, there are some semi-reputed sources of people that say that Australopithecus, which might be the specific species of Bigfoot, does exist, Sean.
Okay, that was a better follow-up.
Okay. Save my job a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
What about you, Sean? Do you believe in Bigfoot?
So
you're in the Northwest.
I want to believe that Bigfoot's real just because I think the world and life is a lot cooler if something like that was real.
Right.
Like, just imagine if they actually found Bigfoot. People would lose their shit.
Yeah.
And if I had to go back and answer the question you asked me, what's your favorite word? It would be squatchy, because that's where, like, you watch the Bigfoot Hunter or whatever that show's called. Those, a bunch of losers go out in the woods and they howl and bang on trees, and they're like, oh, yep.
Yeah.
When they get out of their car to the location, they're like, yep, this place is definitely squatchy.
Yeah. This is Bigfoot Central right here. Look at that. Look at that. Right? Look at that pile of shit over there. That's Bigfoot shit.
Yeah.
don't step in it. I need to take a sample, bro.
I highly doubt he's real. But I think it would be pretty rad if he was.
The Gimlin footage though, what is it, Bob Hieronymus?
Yeah.
That's the best. Like, where he's just walking and then he does like the hey, and he turns really
quick.
Good.
It's cool.
Yeah. It is cool, but it's
the
just
Robertson Gimli or whatever it is.
yeah. And the guy
like that.
The guy in the costume had the coolest name, Bob Hieronymus.
Bob Hieronymus.
That was his name.
Yeah. All right, here's another one for you.
Okay.
If you were a box of cereal, what would you be and why?
Oh. I would be a box of shredded mini wheats because I'm healthy, but I'm also a little sugary, like sweet sometimes.
A little sweet
when I want to be. But for the most part, I'm healthy and I'm good for you. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. I want to be a box of Captain Crunch because I tear up the roof of your mouth every time you eat me.
Yeah, I remind you. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
I would be Frosted Flakes because I'm great.
Yeah,
that's how I'd leave the interview.
Yeah, I want to be Life because Mikey likes me.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
Mikey,
is this thing on?
Yeah, Google is known for asking people why are manhole covers round. What do you think?
Are you asking me that? Oh, okay. Because it's easier to make a circle in the ground and cut a square because you're going to mess the square up. Well, actually, you could mess the circle up a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
You could make this. It could be like an oval or something. I don't know. That's a. Let me.
You're not getting the job.
Can I use your service to look it up? Can I Google it?
Yeah, right.
Like I whip out my phone. I'm like, hold on a minute.
All right, so Apple
Yeah.
is known for asking people, if you were a pizza delivery man, how would you benefit from scissors?
Wow. How would I benefit from scissors? Well, let's say if sometimes when the pizza guy comes, he does the presentation. He's like, "Sir, your pizza," and he opens the box up. Well, if the cheese is stuck to the top of the box, then all you need is a handy pair of scissors. Whip that out and you clip those cheese pieces away from the top of the box so you can present your pizza.
Present? When's the last time
You ever
somebody
do that?
presented you
Sir?
a pizza?
Like all the time. Like, "Sir, your pizza."
Really?
This,
They presented to you?
Yeah, well, it's not like a bunch of fanfare, but it's like just to make sure you're not getting like some bullshit. It's like, hey, here's your. He kind of opens the lid a little bit. But if I had my scissors and the cheese was stuck to the top, I would be able to clip those little suckers away.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I could think of on short notice.
Present. I don't know if this presentation.
Sir, your pizza.
Yeah, what kind of service are you
Your
getting?
artery clogging pizza. Here you go, sir.
I present
there's
you.
I see there's some cheese stuck to the top of the box. Let me get my scissors and take care of those forthwith.
Forthwith. Jeez.
Yeah.
You're right there?
Yeah, it's hurts your throat to talk like that. Like with that voice. Doesn't do your throat any favors.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that I had like a funny interview question when I got my teaching job. Like, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why? It's like after all these like serious questions, and then you had that question.
What'd you answer?
I don't know why. I think I said like I want to be a bear because when I see something I like, I go for it. Like some stupid answer. Like that's what
what a bear does?
I guess, right?
Not really.
Well, that's what I thought at the time.
Well, okay, so if you had a chance to answer it again, what would you say?
Well, I wouldn't say a snake. Like,
you can't trust me.
Yeah, you don't want me around your merchandise. I would say, I don't know. It's just that's a tricky question. That's one of those personality profile questions. They want to see what kind of person you are. I mean, I might say a bear again. I might just modify my answer a little bit.
Yeah.
Or, like I could say, I'm a lion because I'm trustworthy and dependable and stalwart.
Yeah, I'd probably be something like a
raccoon, so I
like
can go through your trash when you're not looking.
I'd probably be something like a coyote, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I don't know.
Because I'm sneaky. But
Sneaky.
like anything you answer that question, it's going to be suspect.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
It seems like a one of those ones where it's like, good luck.
Yeah. And I felt like an idiot after I answered it. And then like two of my future coworkers were in the next room, like eavesdropping. And they told me about it later. Like, yeah, you answered that question. And I was like, oh God, like I thought I was the only one. Like, I thought it was just a couple people in the room and there's happened to be other people listening. Great.
Yeah.
It's my stupid answer.
You got it done.
I'm in the car going, I answered a bear. It's just a coyote.
That feels so stupid.
Yeah. Stupid.
Amazon is known for asking, how would you solve problems if you were from Mars?
Well, probably a ray gun to zap the shit out of it.
Ray gun?
Yeah. Don't they have ray guns on Mars?
Don't know why they would.
If I was from Mars, if I was on Mars. If I was from Mars, I would ask somebody for help because I probably wouldn't know what's going on because I'm on a whole other planet.
Okay.
So I would ask somebody, or I would ask my boss. That's the serious answer. I'd ask my boss for some guidance and help. Probably a visual demonstration would also benefit my cause.
Yeah.
I'm not taking this very seriously. I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah. I know.
Trying.
You're trying, man.
Yeah.
You're trying.
I'm just glad I don't have to interview for Apple, Google, or Amazon.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel about you. I don't know if I'd hire you.
Yeah. Well, at least you're honest.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So what do you, changing gears, I'm just kind of curious. Like, so we're at 50, right? 50 episodes.
50.
What are you thinking about for 50 more? Like, what do you see the show? What do you want to get from it?
I kind of like this format, to be honest with you. I like talking,
Yeah. Just like, not having to watch movies.
Well, I still like watching movies, but some weeks I'm just kind of hard pressed. Like I don't get as much done. And like I said earlier, it's almost like homework, and I just want to enjoy the movie. But I do like integrating that because it's a big part of our culture. People like especially with Netflix and Amazon Prime and all these things. But I think a talk format doesn't hurt things. Like people like tuning in and hearing some engaging dialogue, or might make them think about things and talk to their friends about things. So I think it's you could definitely go somewhere with that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's. I think the tough thing is, and this is something that, people who do podcasts, like, why do you do it, right? Do you do it like I guess I kind of compared to like when I was in a band, you wanted people to come out to your show, and that was often a way that people would gauge like, if you're successful or not. And if people didn't come to your show, you're kind of like, oh well, I guess people don't like me.
Yeah. Woe is me.
Yeah, woe is me. But at the same time, it's almost kind of like you're gonna do it regardless if you like it or not. Like you want to do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And so we'll continue doing podcasts as long as it's like fun and engaging for us. Which I think is part of the reason why people like to do podcasts.
I think it's for me too. It's a creative endeavor, so it's something to keep my mind fresh. Because it's, folks, it's not easy sitting here talking for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it is something where you have to kind of think on your feet, like with those interview questions. But you can also integrate a lot of your personality and even your point of view and perspective on things into what you're talking about, which, aside from internet forums and, Facebook and little responses and stuff here and there, it's like, there's really no kind of pure way to do it. but it is nice to, put it on a recording, put it out there, see what people think. It is good to get responses and feedback. So that really helps too.
Yeah, you definitely need to be mindful that you are trying to entertain.
Right.
And that, that is always something to be respectful of people's time. Like, you want to give them a reason to come back, but also it's to talk about interesting things, making sure that, people that you're, I guess, maybe talking about something that is worth listening to, or in some respect, you kind of learn something new, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. I just think that's something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, and you think of kind of like why we listen to podcasts. Like I like listening to, like talk forums, but I also like listening to really cool stuff like history podcasts. I've been into a lot. So yeah, it is educational, but then you also want to listen to something maybe funny. So there's a wide range of 10 years ago, people were like, "What's a podcast?" Like, and there's only not that many people doing it, and now it's everything you can think of. You could look it up on a search, you'll find something. We're just hoping to kind of bring something just a little fresh, a little different, but we're not trying to knock everyone down. It's just like you said, even if we don't have like a ton of listeners, we just kind of keep going. It is fun. It is something we look forward to. I look forward to it.
Yeah, it is interesting because we have episodes. I mean, when you do things that are movie based, I mean, the podcast title does play a big role on if someone's going to click it and check it out or not. But at the, also there's just the elements of like, hey, what is this show about? And is this going to be interesting or not? So you have to be mindful of that. But at the same time, I mean, we have some episodes that do like very well, and they come out and you go, wow, okay, didn't see that coming. But then you also have other ones that are kind of slow builders. They don't, I guess what I'm trying to say is that with podcasting, you can't really pay attention to a lot of the numbers, because they take weeks in order for it to fully finish. I mean, we have people that just started listening to stuff that came out, 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a little bit tricky, to kind of gauge, like, was this a good episode or not? Like, you really don't know.
Yeah. You can have
you just try to make it
big hits, and then you have your sleepers,
Yeah, for sure.
Creep up later on. But and that's always surprising because I'll check the stats, I guess you could say, and just kind of, that could be doing better, but then you check it a week later and it's way up there, or it's still where it's at. Just depends. You really can't tell, and that's why the people that do really good at it, I mean, it's just you got to work at it. It does help to have guests, but it's not like a requirement. Hopefully, just the people that are on the show can bring enough to it. We're not like by any means experts on everything film and television, but we like to bring our little spin to it, being, lovers of both mediums.
Yeah, for sure. That's well said.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm going to definitely try to find things to talk about that are exciting and fun. It's been really cool, doing podcasts and stuff so far. It is still a lot of work at times, but you don't want to ever be in a situation where you're kind of like just phoning it in.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you kind of know, like, you got to hang up the hat if you're not feeling it.
Passion helps.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that there's also a lot of things out there that we could probably talk about and keep it pretty entertaining.
It is good. I mean, it is an outlet. For me, I've always found that I like to be semi-creative, whether it's like writing or, I've always wanted to get in like art and painting. I wouldn't know where to start. I'd rather have someone kind of teach it to me. With this, it's almost become like the folk music of medium, where you really don't need too much to get started. You just need a voice and a microphone and some kind of recording equipment. But it's just nice to put something out there and channel your peace of mind into it and whatever you have to say. There's a lot of podcasts out there, so there's a lot to choose from. So for those who listen, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're still definitely going to be talking about, definitely still talk about movies because that's something we'd be doing anyways. But I'm gonna search for some other topics to kind of bring in there. So I'm gonna put the feelers out there for our squad. See what if there's anything that you guys like listening to. But really, it's just try something to keep it entertaining for me is really what I'm looking at.
We could just do a podcast about our dogs.
Yeah, the brothers' dogs.
Yeah. Todd and Kevin show.
The Todd and Kevin show. What's this show about? Well,
speaking of,
glad you asked.
Dogs. Have you heard of the band? They're called K9us.
I have, dude. You've told me about those guys.
Yeah.
It's a metal band made up of dogs, right? With dogs.
Well, no, it's a metal band, and then they have like the guys who are just like thrashing it out, and then in the front of the stage, there's just a dog going, "Hoo!" like
oh my,
pretty much as a reaction to the music, I think. But
K9us.
That's the best name for like a metal band, though.
Is it?
I think it is.
Yeah, it could be, I guess.
K9us.
K9us. I don't know. I don't know if I go. That'd be fun to go see the band live. But after like a couple songs, you're like, "Hey,
I gotta go.
You want to get out of here?
Yeah, you want to go? Want to go to the library? You do something else.
Whoa, library.
You go somewhere else.
I mean, so what kind of painting do you think you'd be into?
Like watercolors. I'm really into like if you were looking at like comparing to like painters, like I like Van Gogh, so I like the Impressionists, I guess you could call them.
Yeah, so I want to paint you.
You have Van Gogh, you have Monet, you have Manet, you have Gauguin, like these guys, when they painted like a field of flowers, it wasn't just straight up painting a field of flowers, it was how they looked at it, and with Van Gogh, like a great deal of like, kind of like he wasn't the most sane person in the world, but he put his own little unique spin on it. But it'd just be a nice kind of outlet to try, I think.
Yeah.
It just, I would need a little guidance on like, because I can't draw for shit. So it's kind of like, but maybe I can paint something if I had the right, direction or someone kind of teaching me how to just make something simple and then go from there. It'd be kind of fun, I think. I mean,
honestly, just start with like YouTube, just
Bob Ross.
Well, I mean, he's a little advanced, but you might fall asleep halfway through it.
Right.
But no, go to like YouTube, and I would just start with, just a pencil and some paper, start learning how to do like perspective, start learning how to draw certain shapes. There's a lot of layers and different things that people do when you want to freehand, but then when you're because you kind of have to, a lot of good paintings can start off with just as simple as like a pencil sketch or an outline of like, what do I want to draw? Yeah. And an easy way to do that is to kind of have like a reference drawing or something that you're going to go, okay, I'm going to draw this, versus something abstract like a Pollock where you're kind of, just being creative and you're just throwing color on a canvas, but it's the attitude behind it and it's your technique. And, so there's a lot of different ways that, you can approach it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that's fun to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be that, like, just fun and like relaxing, yeah, I'd love to try it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get it on it, man.
Don't want to make a big mess.
We want to see well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got good paint splattered all over my apartment. It's like,
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, at least you'll look like you're into something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just painting,
Yeah, no, I'd like to get down to that. Start some simple, drawing. I always thought it was like you had to be good at it, just kind of out of the womb, but I think a lot of people just kind of learn and practice like anyone else.
That's all you got to do, dude, is you just got to throw yourself out there.
Yeah, I mean, but I think cartoons are cool too. I mean, I'm not I'm not an avid cartoon watcher, but I think some cartoons look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just got to start simple.
Yeah.
Just throw yourself out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get there.
Any other skills you want to learn while we're at it?
I've been dabbling in like photography. It's just I'd like to get more into like, the editing side of it and, So, I got a pretty decent camera. So it's like, I think that's another thing I'd love to learn more about. It's just, all the kind of facets and things that go into taking pictures.
Sure.
It's so much has changed with like our phones being able to do it. It almost seems like regular like raw photography is like not like a dying art, but it just seems like, it's not a lot of like attention paid to it. But that's an art form too. I think just as much as painting, because a lot of the photography goes into like not just taking a picture in the moment, but in the post production as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of photography. I've actually spent a lot of time over the last few years, learning how to edit, process, better photos. I've got a handful of cameras. I've always bought a nice camera over time,
Right.
Whenever I can kind of get the upgrades. And then when I go out and do different trips and stuff, work trips and stuff, I like to try to take as many photos. Shameless plug. I mean, you can go over to my Instagram at Sean Harsch, and see some photos I've taken and posted up there, which, I mean, I'm pretty happy with them. I know I still have a lot to learn. And a lot of it I've kind of learned is that like with Lightroom or Photoshop is, let's just kind of take with Lightroom is it's a digital dark room basically, so when you had to take a photo, you had to expose it correctly. And then when you take those negatives into a dark room and you process your photos, like whatever effect you wanted to get was depending on how you developed them. And so now that it's all digital, you're kind of doing that on software, but the terminology and the philosophy is the same. It hasn't changed. So really it's, for people that want to start learning photography, for me, like that big breakthrough moment was really learning the relationship between ISO, aperture to understanding, and then your shutter speed. And that triangle, and learning how to work that, especially with like the lenses and the cameras and stuff you have, really play a big part on, do you even have a good baseline image to kind of start with? And then, so out of hundreds of photos I'll go through them in Lightroom and I'll select a bunch as pics and things like that. And you kind of start narrowing it down. And I just find that I'm taking lots of photos that are just shit, and which is kind of normal. I mean,
yeah,
but meaning that like I'll take like 5 or 6 photos of a mountain and I'll be happy with one of them. And so what I'm trying to do is take less photos, but have the ones I'm taking actually be what I want. Not like a point and click kind of thing. And so what I've gotten better at is exposing and adjusting in the field to kind of reflect like what I want to do.
Okay.
Because if you just do auto and you just point and shoot, I mean, yeah, you can get lucky and get some good photos, but then they're just going to be same old photos. There's nothing really exciting about them. Like, why would somebody enjoy looking at your photo of just some boring ass tree or something like that? You got to find ways to, say something or do something with that photo.
Right.
But you gotta start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Always.
So that's definitely something to kind of focus on. But once you kind of start learning that, it really kind of starts coming together a lot easier.
And all that stuff, I think the best way to discover a lot of, what you do is through that experimentation and finding what works for you. And, I can see with like drawing, maybe just, like a YouTube video or like, I learn good from like books, like sometimes with the book, if it shows you, I'm very visual. So that would help too. But then I assume at some point kind of step away from that and just kind of start messing around, see what happens. Sometimes a lot of the times that's how the best stuff comes along.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you still write a lot though. Do you not?
Yeah, not so much, I mean, like just a little bit here and there, but I find I need like a lot of inspiration to do that. It's more of a time thing too. Writing can be very time consuming. I think, and it's just you really have to kind of work it out. I think so. Not something I'm doing like all the time, but it's always there. Or I sometimes write down ideas I have or things and try to bring them out on either this or just kind of write them down, but not like exclusively. I want to get in other things.
Yeah, that's good.
You know,
I mean,
just
it's always
like
good
being
to
artistic and creative. I always like being like that. So
yeah, it's always good to learn something new and continue to try to improve.
right,
If I'm not doing that, then I notice like I just kind of get bored.
sure,
Like I don't know. I think that's important just to stay engaged and kind of always learn something new.
yeah,
Yeah, right on, man.
yes, yes. By next week, I'll be a expert painter.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like well,
Ryan,
what have you been up to? Well,
you can paint something other than dicks.
yeah, hey, hey.
It's just all these like paintings of like Todd in like lingerie. Like this,
Right. This is kind of
it's kinda a little
weird.
weird, man.
Yeah. You said you're gonna want to draw. I thought you were going to talk about cartoons and trees and birds.
But that could be an idea. You could take a picture of your dog and then try to paint that picture.
All right. Yeah.
I know it's going to look terrible, but it's going to take a while, and you got to
Yeah.
just kind of work through it.
Yeah.
But it's something you could do.
Yeah. I think I can just work through it. It's only for me right now. It's not like I'm trying to like publish anything. So I think it's, be nice to just to have something. I'll have like
Yeah,
30,
for sure.
30 awful paintings on my wall, like or little sketches of a dog.
Sketches of a dog. That's going to be
Yeah.
that's the name of like your little coffee table book.
Right.
Sketches of a dog. I would do it.
Yeah. Working on it.
Yeah. So, any big Thanksgiving plans?
No, just I'll be at a friend's house. It'll be deep frying the turkey. So
Jeez.
yeah, that's great. That's like I think it's ever since I've had that, that's probably the way I'd love to do it. It takes like an hour. You get it's a peanut oil, and then it's a big pot. You want to do it outside where there's not a lot of like leaves around, but basically just
start a fire.
No, you want to lower the turkey in there, and then it takes like an hour.
Is it loud? It's like
not really. Not really. I mean, you're filling it up so that the oil isn't like displaced. I mean, you want it to cover the turkey, but you don't want it oozing over the side. So you're just monitoring the temperature and then, keeping an eye on it, but it doesn't get too crazy. Yeah, delicious. Delicious. The skin is just like, it's obviously like fried. So the skin is the best part, but comes out a little differently. You got to really prep it the night before, put your spices on it and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just be doing that. I mean, I have a couple days off. Black Friday, I really don't like going anywhere on that day. So
you're not going to go out shopping?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I'll go out to my computer and do some Christmas shopping through Amazon. That's pretty much, But like from that time on to like the end of December is like the worst time to go to any store or any. It's just around here anyway. It's just craziness.
Yeah,
and you think it's a nice time of year, but people aren't always that nice to each other. So it's just like, yeah, just kind of get in, get out what I need. I'm already doing my shopping online. When I get my gifts, I'm fine. So,
well, we've done enough retail to know that Black Friday can like bring the worst out of you.
Yeah.
Well, at least it does for a lot of the public.
It does. Yeah, people get crazy. I mean, we've seen by these videos the last couple of years how insane people get with these like prices that really aren't like much of a deviation from the what they have, right? I mean, it's just a lot of stuff's just
true.
Like overstock, and we part of my job is we go to different businesses and take tours. And one of the places we went to recently was Best Buy, and someone asked about Black Friday, and they said, yeah, people camp out at least a week before Black Friday. Like, and they don't just, I'm not saying like, they literally bring a tent, and I don't know what, people bring them food or whatever, but they camp out. It's crazy. Like,
you can't give me enough money to do that anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
there's never really like any savings that justify it.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's okay to pay a little bit more, it's just, I'm not really like looking to save a whole shit ton of money, but yeah, people are doing it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it must be a life right there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen any deals that are, I guess, worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Nope. You cooking or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be cooking. I think the Jenny will probably be doing her turkey confit, where like you cook it in duck fat, something like that.
Nice.
You ordered all these jars of like, duck fat from Amazon.
Cool.
And then you cook it in the oven with that. It's really good.
Yeah.
Never really had it that way before.
Yeah. Interesting. Turkeys are safe, right? I've read something about like there was a big recall on a lot of turkeys, but
I hope so.
yeah, like there's
I haven't heard anything like that.
E. coli. There's a huge recall on turkeys, like E. coli or Staphylococcus or something from Jenny O company. But then they also said they didn't know exactly where the turkeys were sourced from that created this outbreak. So not trying to scare all of our listeners. Do the research online, but yeah, they're not really sure of all the source farms because I guess they get them from all over the place, and those source farms could also source other companies. So, yeah, you don't know, but yeah, they've already said like they've done a huge recall. Like someone already died out here. It causes for 4 to 6 days, fever, vomiting, and diarrhea. So it sounds great. Yeah,
Jeez, buckle up.
Yeah. Trying to bum anybody out here, but yeah, that's E. coli. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not us.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. If we don't come back though for episode 51, you'll know what happened.
Yeah, it bombed.
Live from the toilet. Yeah.
I know. It's like
someone
a reverb in the bathroom.
Someone bought the wrong turkey. Yeah. Time to be thankful though.
Yeah.
Nice to have that time off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Thanksgiving's just do people really like connect why Thanksgiving's still a holiday?
Yeah, and what we were taught is like the furthest thing from the truth of like what actually happened. I mean, it's totally. Like, hey, we all sat down together and had a nice big meal, and it's like, no, these white English settlers were starving to death and like boiling their shoes and their belts, and then the natives like were might have helped them a little bit, showed them what to eat, but they weren't like definitely cooking everything up and sitting down and eating it with them.
Yeah,
that wasn't going on. So,
yeah, I don't know.
It's funny as you get older, like you start investigating a lot of that history. You're like, yeah, there's one way to tell it, and there's all this another way to tell it. Various perspectives.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. But we wish everyone a very nice and safe Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless, yeah, be safe out there.
Yeah, don't be dangerous.
Yeah, watch out for drunk drivers and E. coli from turkeys.
E. coli.
That's what it is. Like, look it up, sir. Like someone told me, they're like, yeah, I don't know about eating turkeys. Probably do a ham this year. And I'm like, what, turkey? Like, I don't really pay attention to the news, so it's honestly I don't. So this is all news to me, and then it's like, oh crap, like there's a big recall on turkeys this year. That sucks. So yeah, whatever. You just take the plunge.
Literally.
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette with your colon. See what happens.
Take the plunge.
Playing a dangerous game here with this turkey, but is it worth it? Yeah. Just don't eat
is it worth it?
You can just throw the leftovers out. I mean, you're not gonna, that's the worst that can happen. Besides all the physical effects.
That's true.
Just take all the leftover turkey, dump it in the garbage. Don't worry about it sitting around and making sandwiches for the next couple weeks. Like, well, that's not any good. Good day, sir. In the trash you go.
I said good day.
Yeah. Get out.
Ugh. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we had enough fun.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Hey, aren't you on Twitter now?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think of the format?
It's all right. I mean, I'm doing it for my phone, so it's,
That's where everybody does it.
Is it? Yeah, they don't go on the computer and do it.
No, I don't know. Like, I mean, businesses can do it that way, but I think normal people probably just do it from their phone.
I like it. I mean, it's cool. I get to follow a lot of my favorite people, so see what they're up to, or you just get little news here and there. But yeah, it's pretty easy to use. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting around figuring stuff out.
Yeah, I found that it's I think it's good if you do follow the right folks and you kind of get the right quick updates and things like that for whatever someone's got going on.
Yeah,
but it's a different platform because you got to kind of be on it. Where whatever it was that you had going on, like it's goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So if you're not active, you'll just miss stuff. And if you follow too many people, it's like, there it went, goodbye.
Right.
So I found that like subscribing or when people that you know personally or whatever, you can get notifications to where the second that they post something, you can kind of get notified, and that's a good way to kind of keep track of like key people and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. But where so what is your Twitter thing?
At Ryan Harsch, Harsch.
It's just like mine.
Yeah,
at Sean Harsch. There you go.
Check me out. I'll be posting, my thoughts, I guess, when I start thinking more of stuff to put on here. It's just sometimes I don't I don't put stuff on here. I know a lot of people like, I'm a very witty guy. I'm just posting my observations all day on here, but I don't really have time to do that right now. So, but I'll put some things up there that are worthy checking out eventually.
Well, if you guys like use Twitter, give us a follow at Sean Harsch or at Ryan Harsch. Yep. Pretty easy. Yeah, absolutely. And again, same thing over on Instagram. You can guys check us out. And if you can check us out over at our Facebook page for the Harsch Review. If you want to stay plugged in, we'll still be posting lots of movie news and movies and things we're watching and all kinds of extra stuff. Trying to change it up little by little, nothing too drastic. So we appreciate you guys all stopping by. And if you're new to the podcast, make sure you hit subscribe on your podcast player, iTunes app, whatever it is that you're using. We post every Tuesday. Kind of keeps it nice and fun.
Yeah.
Wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving if you're getting out eating turkey, maybe deep fried or however you have it. And thanks again for stopping by. That's going to do it. Feel good, Ryan?
I feel very good.
Sweet.
Ready to eat turkey.
Yes.
And not get sick.
Not get sick. No E. coli. Or salmonella.
Right. Whatever it is.
Whatever it is. All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.